Hi, welcome back Beauty Fam. I'm Nikki from Nikki Car Beauty, and today I'm going to talk about Suqqu's new pre-summer 2022 collection, the Sea Glass pre-summer collection from Suqqu. These are the two beauties right here from the pre-summer collection. So if you're interested to hear more about these beauties, then keep watching. It launched from Selfridges on April 7th, and then on April 21st, it will launch at Harrods and Liberty London. Website here, it says Suqqu's pre-summer collection 2022 is inspired by the seaside jewelry of sea glass. Colloquially, it is also known as mermaid's tears, derived from the legend of mermaids. So I'll put a picture here of what sea glass is here. Sea glass are weathered glass pieces found on beaches alongside bodies of seawater. After being tumbled by waves over years, the pieces are smoothened and rounded. The teardrop stones gain a beautiful cloudy texture and pearly appearance in natural colors of blue, green, red, gray, or white. The limited edition color collection transforms playful, shimmering finishes, pearly textures, and a gentle wash of color into makeup form. And that's pretty on par with Suqqu's aesthetic. And a lot of times people want to know how it compares to Western aesthetics and Western makeup, and you can't really compare the two. They tend to not be as pigmented as what Western makeup tend to be utilized more in like washes of color, or it reminds me of watercolor. So they're really soft washes of color that you can layer, and you don't want to like over blend them though in a way. So even the way I even put this makeup on today is a little bit more heavy-handed than what I've seen Japanese creators who end up buying this collection. So I ended up getting on Suqqu's list to pre-order the collection, and I ended up not getting the entire collection, and I'll explain why. So in order to pre-order, and I'll put the contact information below here, I end up contacting the sales associates at Selfridges who are at the Suqqu counter ahead of time of launch day. And I ended up doing that. They do offer that to everybody. It's not exclusive. You just have to reach out to them and know what products you are interested in. And so I don't know if they're going to change that. That's what they do now. And so when I emailed them to order certain items, they asked that I actually attend a demonstration with one of their sales associates. Her name is Shamana, and she actually went over all of the products and explained more of each of the limited edition products. And in that tutorial, she actually did looks based on the two quads, the two blushes, the two Comfort Lip Fluid fogs, and then the lip glosses, Flawless Lip Gloss. And they were all limited edition. Before I did that, attended that tutorial, I actually had in mind what I wanted and actually changed my mind after I sat in on that tutorial. So it was very helpful. I don't know if they're going to plan to do that in the future, but it was definitely helpful for me to have someone demonstrate the product in more real time than not. Because the lucky ones in the UK, you can go right to the Selfridges counter and then talk to the SAs there and then look at the product beforehand. Is that there are some beauty content creators who post looks and swatches beforehand, or if they're in Japan, they might get the product ahead of time. So I'm just kind of guessing what the products might look like. And oftentimes it is hard unless they're at least kind of to figure out unless they're a similar skin tone or undertone like me. So that was very helpful. So for this collection, I actually ended up getting 2 of the quads and then 2 of the lip fluid fogs. Previously, I had on my list, I was going to get that purple blush, and then I decided not to because when the sales associate put it on her face, it just didn't show up very much. It was more of like a contour, and it was beautiful. It just wasn't something I thought I would use often, more than just kind of once in a while. Who knows, maybe they won't be available because they'll be limited edition and sold out. But if they're available, and if I decide then after that I want to get them, I might change my mind. So I did pass on the blushes. I'll put them up here too. They were beautiful. One was a turquoise, the other was a sparkling brown. I'm kind of have a lot of lip gloss in my collection, and out of all the lip products, that's the one lip product I actually don't reach for very often is lip gloss. So I have more than enough lip glosses between Chanel, Pat McGrath, and Lisa Eldridge. So I decided to actually just really think about like, what are the products I know that I really, really want and that I know I will likely use. And so what I did when I contacted the email and the sales associates, I let them know which products I wanted, and they pulled those products aside. And on launch day, they sent me the portal for me to pay, and then they were sent and shipped out very quickly the day of launch day. And I just happened to be out of town when the package got delivered, but I think it was 2 days from launch day. It was delivered by DHL, which is incredibly fast. So I'm going to show you the quads I end up getting, and here are some pictures above. The quad 113 and 114, and you'll know that these are limited edition by the number. It'll be usually a 100 number and then followed by 2 other digits. Start with quad 113, Namimigaki, and it's this beauty here. And that's actually what I have on my eyes today. And then the second quad is called 114 Sumimidori, and it looks like this. And this is the one that definitely looks more like the sea glass when you think about colors that are those stones that you find on the beach. And then I ended up picking up both the fluid fogs. Now this is the formula, it has the fogs and glows. The fogs are the mattes and glows are the kind of a glossy, more emollient ones. And so this is 108. Kind of go swatch that for you here. And the 108 is called YUUSANGO and is the pure coral, brightens any complexion, a must-have for the season's transition. So it's a bright coral. You know, I have it on my lips today. This one is 109 Namimigaki. And I would say this is more of a muted brown nude. And for my lip color and tone, actually this is kind of like my perfect nude color. It's beautiful. It's described as a classic beige that neutralizes more vivid makeup, applies a soft matte finish for sophisticated lips. But you can also wait till it shows up the release date for April 21st, which is next Thursday, the 21st. It also launches at Harrods and Liberty London as well. I hope my video also helps you decide, if you're looking at this collection, if you want some of the lip fluid fogs or the colors of the eyeshadows. And then I'll do my review after I insert the demos and then do some comparison swatches. swatches. I pulled some quads that I thought there might be some dupes for. Why don't we start with the teals, because that's kind of like the showstopper shade. Okay, so that's the teal shade. And this is part of that formula where, again, it's not super pigmented. It's more of a wash of color, but there's tends to be like depth of sparkle in there, but not in like a Pat McGrath way, if that makes sense. This is my Viseart Koi, and I'm going to swatch this one here, and I love this color here. And it doesn't have a name, it's just part of the Koi palette. So that one pops a bit more. There's more blue in there, which is, this is more sea green. I pulled out my Nightbird Dior palette. This was also limited edition. Let's see, maybe I might swatch. Well, I think this one, the other one has a purple shift. And this might be too deep. Let's see what that looks like. Oops, I got a little bit of the other. I'll do that again. So yeah, so this is definitely more of a deeper blue, but not a sea green. I pulled out my Clionadh Cosmetics. I think this is still a little bit more too green as opposed to a sea green and not enough blue. I'll do both of these. And the first one was, the color was Metallic Shadow in Climate Change. And the second one was Tree Line. Climate Change and then Tree Line. And I'm pulling out my Tom Ford Soleil et Lune #2, and it has this beautiful teal. This is one of my favorite colors in this whole Tom Ford collection because it's the wet dry formula. And let me just do a swatch here. This is one of my favorite Tom Ford quads in my collection, almost because of this. This might be the closest one, I'm thinking. Yeah, it still has more of a blue shift. So there's like this, a little bit of green in here. So I haven't found an exact dupe. I'm gonna swatch that again, just so you can see. Yeah, so this is the Suqqu one from that quad, and you can see that there's not an exact dupe for that. I don't have anything like the yellow because that's the topper color, neither matte blue, but I wanted to see if there's anything close to this shimmer shade here. Let me do an arm swatch of that. And it barely shows up on me just because I think it's so close to my skin tone, but you can kind of see it, right? So I pulled the Suqqu Quad Signature Color Eyes 110, and this is from the winter collection. And I was thinking maybe this color might be close. Let's see. It's frosty, but it's more beige and not pink. Charlotte Tilbury Star Aura Flawless Eye Filter Luxury Palette. And thinking about this pink in particular, different formula altogether. It reminds me more of that Tom Ford Wet Dry formula, but I thought I'd show you. It's definitely more pink. There's more of a pink shift, but also very pretty. I actually prefer this pink more than this. It actually shows up more than this. And it kind of matches my nail polish a little bit. So yeah, there's no exact dupe for this Suqqu shimmer shade from the from 114. And I wanted to see if I could find a close dupe for this peachy shimmer shade. Now, I would say this is probably my favorite one in this whole quad. So you can see it's definitely more of an orangey peachy hue with lots of shimmer in it. It's really beautiful. My Charlotte Tilbury Queen of Glow Luxury Palette, and I was thinking about this color down here. Actually, I'm gonna go up. That's definitely more gold. I also grabbed my NARS Summer Unrated palette, which I haven't reviewed yet. I'm still working on it. I just actually really love this palette. Thinking about actually this shade up here, but it might be too rose gold. Again, it's close, but not, it's more orangey gold than this. Thinking of the Sydney Grace palette Meadowhawk from the Sydney Grace Mel Thompson collab, this beautiful color. But this is an entirely different formula. You can see Sydney Grace just has this like shimmer, just so bright. Look at that, and it's definitely more pink. Oh yeah, this is Divine Rose 1. I was thinking maybe this one, because there's like a, there's a shift to that one. It looks pretty, but it's nowhere as close. Oops, you see I pulled a big chunk of that. It's beautiful, multi-chrome. Suqqu 104 palette. And I was thinking this orange, and this is something that Suqqu does really wonderfully, are the oranges. Just gonna swatch it down here. It's a deeper tone, a little bit more brown in there, but it's probably the closest. That's it for my oranges. So I have nothing in my collection with this close of a color, and this is probably my favorite color out of this entire collection. Okay, so I was gonna do a swatch of this one here, this pink one. Up here, really beautiful as well. Suqqu Quad Sumimidori 04. And I think this is part of their permanent line. And taking this color here, but this, I don't think this is an exact match, but it's maybe close. Yeah, it's really pretty. Let me grab that again. Definitely lighter. There's a little bit more berrier blue in that one. Shizuko. This one could be close. Let's see. No, it's too frosty. So there's no exact, dupe on that. And then I wanted to pull the lip fluid fogs and lipsticks I have from Suqqu. This is the coral one. And it does, at least on my skin tone, it pulls very orange. And I'm just curious if people have a deeper skin tone than me or lighter, how it pulls. Some other lip fluid fog 04. I'm sorry, I don't have the names of these. They don't actually put them. They're written in Japanese, so I can't read them. So no on that. That's more a brown color. I have 102. That's super bright. That's definitely an orange, where this is starting to look more brown. Number 104. Again, that looks more like an orange with more brown in it. And then I have one more, which was part of the holiday package from last year. Again, it's 107. So, the closest would be this one, but that's definitely more orange. So that's one thing that you either like or have a complaint about with Suqqu. I actually like it. They do oranges and orange browns really well. And you don't see that in a lot of cosmetic companies. The trend, at least here in the United States and in Western beauty, is having nudes and rosy mauves and just like nude colors. Whereas I'm noticing, at least with Suqqu in this line, they are really showing things with oranges and browns and brownie oranges, which I love. It looks 109, which is the beigey color. This is 102 from Suqqu line. No, that's more berry mauve. I picked actually 2 lipsticks, and now I don't have any other colors that could possibly be like that in the lip fluid fog formula. 114. This is very deep, but it could be sheared out. Again, these numbers are like super tiny, so it's having trouble looking at those. 113. That's a little closer, but you can see it already. There's like a little bit more plum in this, and this is more of a true brown. So those are the closest matches. Again, these are the 2 from the collection. One that's beige and the one that's supposed to be more coral. So these 2. So let me do a final thoughts and review on the collection. I think this is a beautiful pre-summer collection. Out of all the Suqqu releases, the pre-summer collection is my favorite one out of the entire year. I have a suspicion that the person or the people that create the pre-summer collection are maybe thinking about color stories that might be more attractive and a little bit more colorful for a Western audience. As I find that the summer collection and then the winter or holiday collection, the colors tend to be a little bit more muted. So last year we had, I think, Colors of the Rain, which had the beautiful purple ones. I'll put the picture up here. It was like purple, and then the reds, super, super vibrant colors. And then after that, the releases were much more muted. So I wonder if there's a different team that actually curates the color differently for the pre-summer. So for me, obviously I live in the States. I'm more biased towards really colorful quads, but also just, I mean, with my skin tone, also those colors just tend to show up more. Whereas people in Japan, majority of the people are actually much more paler than me and have like just a different complexion. So the aesthetic of what's going to show up on a lighter complexion is definitely going to be different. Now, that doesn't mean I don't like them any less. I still buy them, but if I was going to favor one collection release every year from Suqqu, it's definitely the pre-summer collection that I will not miss at this point. Which quad do I like better? I would have to say I love them both. I think they're both beautiful. These are definitely, I'm going to do a ranking video of all my Suqqu quads at some point. I'm just missing one more that I really want, and I want to add that into my collection before I do a ranking video. But I would say this is my favorite, just because it's definitely more of my color story. This peach is very unique, and I just love peach and pinks and purples, and that even if it's a topper, it's beautiful. So this is just, it's not really primarily purple. It's definitely more of this color, but this is definitely more what I have more in my collection, but also like what I actually wear in my my clothing and whatnot. I love this for its uniqueness. I kept on trying to like build this teal color, but I just had to remember that that's not how we use these Suqqu quads. It's like a wash of color. So I'm gonna try it one more time and try a smokier look, as this is more of an anchor for more definition. And for me, this color was just not as vibrant as I wanted it to be. And I think you can see that when I swatch that on my skin tone, that it's pretty muted, and it's, you know, it still works, but I just hoping it was a little bit more pinky, as opposed to like, it's almost like a cool beige, reminding me of the Lisa Eldridge Liquid Lurex in the color Bianca, this cool color. Whereas like, obviously it's a different, this is liquid, so it's going to be entirely, but you can see like, even if it popped a little more, I thought that might be even more exciting. But, you know, I just ended up working with it. I ended up putting it in my crease. You can see in the demo that was more of a crease shade or a topper right here, but I kept on trying to build it so there was a pop. So, you know, maybe I'll incorporate this into my next look with this palette, right? Like these two could be together. If I were, would I buy these again? Yes, I would definitely buy both of them. If I had to pick one over the other, it would definitely be the pink quad, this one. So as of this now, I could highly recommend both of them if you want to pick them up. Definitely a unique color story. In terms of the lip fluid fogs, I would say that if I had to go back and repurchase them, I would probably skip buying the coral one, and I actually don't want to swatch it because it ends up being like, it's hard to take off, so it stays on my lips for quite a while. So that's the one I have on my lips. I would pass on this just because you can see how many orange hue type Suqqu lipsticks I have. I think I have enough of the orange in my Suqqu collection. You can also see that as time goes on, so at the beginning of this video, I don't know if you noticed, like my skin was actually more matte, and as I'm filming and I'm getting hot and I'm speaking, I actually get hot, like literally get hot filming. And those of you who are content creators know what I'm talking about. And actually I get a little bit more red, and that's actually with my rosacea. And so with my rosacea, part of what I deal with is actually my face does get flushed the more I talk and the more I get hot. And you just see more of like redness coming through, or redness or orange in my face. I can actually get away more with wearing red, but there's something about orange lipstick where actually it brings out more of like the rosacea color on my face. As much as I love orange lipsticks and orange browns, it's something I have to be kind of, because of my rosacea condition, that I'm always cautious about, that sometimes orange might look really pretty, but then as I'm getting hot, or if I get flushed or have a rosacea flare up, it's gonna just make my rosacea look worse on my face. Would definitely buy 108 again, and I just love this beige color. It's definitely more of, it's hard for me to find of my lips like true color, a brown one, so I would definitely get this in a heartbeat. I would pass on the 108. I would get the 109, which is the beige one, this color. If you never tried the orange colors, I didn't think this is so much of a coral, but that's just me. I guess it is coral. I think about more peachy corals, but you know, that's just a preference. It's a really pretty color. I love the formula. I have too many. I have too many lip fluid fogs, and I just had to stop, but I saw Shimana swatch both of them and try them, and I was like, no, I want them. So I have no regrets about not buying the blushes. I will watch other reviewers about the blush. If the purple comes in and then I see someone with my complexion or deeper and it shows up really beautiful, I might consider buying it. But I really was trying to be intentional just to buy the 4 products during this launch, because I have recently tried the new Suqqu melting powder blushes. Today I used the shade 03 from the Melting Powder collection, and it's this coral color. And I know we're over blushing, but I'm doing it for the sake of the video. Just a beautiful, beautiful blush. One more thing I wanted to show you. So part of being in attendance of that demonstration, they were offering, if you spent minimum amount of money, that they would include a little gift pouch. So they included this gift pouch from Suqqu, and this is what it looks like. It's like a darker brown and then the kind of amber on one side. Comes in this cute little bag. See, like there's like a little Suqqu here. In this, they put 3 different samples, and they put the moisture rich mask in there as a sample, the cleansing cream in here, and then they put a good size hydrating lotion sample in there. Maybe it's like an essence water. So I'll look that up, a hydrating lotion. So thank you for that, because I order a minimum amount. They ended up giving me this gift with purchase. So thank you for that. That's it, beauty fam. That's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful if you're thinking about buying some of these collection pieces as they become available on April 21st at Harrods and Liberty, London. Let me know what you think of this collection, if you're thinking about buying it or is it an easy pass. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel, Mickey Car Beauty. It helps my channel out as I grow it. Comment below, keep the conversation going if you can, and thumbs up. And I would love it if you join the Mickey Car Beauty fam. Subscribe and ring the notification bell. And until the next video, take good care of yourself and be kind to yourself and others, and just be you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.